So what is Flashpoint? Flashpoint is a robust database that houses our contractors' profiles and information. It houses information regarding your membership, your students, your employees, your apprentice, your CEU, and events. And it is it's easily accessible. There's only one login that's required for you to get in and get access to all of this information. It's information that's right at your fingertips. You actually, as the contractor, have more control of accessing your information, getting it when you need it. And additionally, Julie will share, and she's been, and they've actually been sending out information regarding Dropbox and the fact that we are migrating from Dropbox, and the information that's previously in Dropbox is now being housed in Flashpoint. So as I said, Julie's going to share more with you regarding that. So we're just going to walk through quickly how you and show a visual by going to our website of how you actually log into Flashpoint. So you go to our website, iecatlantaga.org, and go to Contractors, and then go to Flashpoint. And this will take you directly to your login for Flashpoint. So you're going to enter your email address, then your password. Now, if you are having a challenge getting access to Flashpoint through our website, we encourage, it may be due to the browser that you're using, or it could be that your browser needs to be cleaned out. But here's a direct login should you have some challenges logging into Flashpoint from our website. And it's very easy. It's iecflashpoint.xyz. So that's an alternate way to log in. But if you are having issues logging in, please just reach out to us and we'll work to get you access and get you logged in. So once you, as a contractor, once you log in using your email address and your password, then this is the dashboard that you will actually see once you log in. So now I'm going to turn it over to Julie, and Julie's going to continue with our walkthrough of Flashpoint.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Celeste. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with all of you. All right. So when you first log on, you're going to be brought to the administrator information page. So, and as Celeste already told you, we will no longer be using Dropbox. Now we're going to be using these custom content pages. This has all the information that you're going to need. So I like to consider the administrator information page kind of like your table of contents. This houses the owner information, custom content page, bookkeeper, education content. It also gives you direct links to our current training classes and our current events. Those links take you directly to our website. When you click on these, the information, the bookkeeper, it'll take you directly to those pages, or you can just click on this left-hand side directly to go to those custom content pages. Also, if you are looking for that PowerPoint or the PDF presentation that Celeste was talking about, you can download it right there. So I'm just going to show you an example of one of these custom content pages. So here's the Education Contact Workforce Information page. So here is an example. Here's the out of work list, our loaning borrow workers, our contractors who are doing this, some schedule reminders, some of our important forms, some contact information as well. So this houses a lot of our information for all of our contractors, and it's all in one spot. So that's just one example of the type of information you're going to find. So I'm going to go back up to the top and click on Dashboard. So the dashboard, this is all of your personal contact information. So I recommend just looking over this page and just making sure the contact information that we have for you is accurate. And if you notice that any information is not accurate, please just contact IEC. Next, we're going to look at the messages. So this contains any messages from IEC staff, like if you got a student detailed grade report or an event reminder or a class reminder, you're going to find those messages here. You can also create a message and send it to a staff member. All you have to do is click create a message, start typing in a staff member's name, and you can send a message directly from Flashpoint. Another great area is files. Oh, and also in messages, you can find your CEU certificates. So if you know you took a code by the article class and you know that your CEU certificate, you'll find it in this messages section as well. So in files, you can also find your certificates. If you can't find one of your files, you can request access to that as well. All you need to do is you can go in the messages, send a message to an IEC staff member and ask for access to your files. And if you need assistance or you're not sure how to do that, on those custom content pages for the education contact workforce page, in one of those important forms sections, you'll actually find step-by-step instructions on how to do that. All right, so that's just a brief overview of that home section. So now I'm going to move on to my education. So the first area is classes. So this is where you're going to find active classes that you are currently taking and recent classes that are still active in our database. So this is not going to show any of your more of your past classes. This is not going to show. It's only going to show the recent classes and your current classes. So, and I'm going to show you in a later section where you can pull a grade report that shows you all of the classes that you've taken in past years. In the certification section, if you've taken a class like first aid or OSHA class, any certification class, you're going to see those located right here. It'll also tell you when those certifications will expire. In the work report section, if you actually went through IEC's apprenticeship program and your contractor submitted OJT reports for you, you're actually going to find those submitted hours right here. All right, and remember, my education is your personal classes and certifications. All right, and the next area we're going to look at is my transactions. And I'm going to let Celeste talk to you more about this section of Flashpoint.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Julie. All right, so my transactions. This section is useful for anyone in your organization that may be involved in billing, invoicing, or may need to have access and visibility into seeing any of your prior invoices or any billing information. So we are going to start with orders. So orders for us is the same as an invoice. So whenever you see orders, that is, like I said, that is actually an invoice. In this, in orders, in this feature here, you can go in, you can see your order number or invoice number. You can see the details. What that order or invoice was for. Was it for your quarterly membership dues? Was it for tuition? Was it for a CEU event? So was it for CEU training, or was it for an event? That will all be here in the type, under type. Created date is a column that you can just disregard. That's for internal purposes only. That is a back end of when we created the drafts of some of the invoices. So that's for internal purposes only. The total gives you the total amount of the invoice. The paid column will indicate if that invoice has in fact been paid. That will be reflected here. And the other thing, the due column. The due column will show if an invoice has been paid, you will see a 0 there. If that invoice is still open, then the amount of that invoice will be reflected here. And you can use the drop down tab to sort this column. So you can use the drop down tab to sort this column, and it will show you so that you can sort. If you want to see your unpaid invoices, then you can sort that so that your unpaid invoices are showing up at the top. This feature also allows you, if you go to the printer screen right above due, it will allow you to actually print a report. So you can select over in orders on the left-hand side, you can select and you can actually print or download a report of your orders. So when we go back up by the IEC test company, that would be your company information, and next to that is called mine. So if you as an individual actually paid for or registered personally for any classes or any events, that information would be under this tab. All right, thank you. So now we'll go to payments. And this payments option or feature shows you any of the orders that have actually been paid, and it will provide you with a transaction number. It will provide you with the date of the transaction. It will provide you with the method of payment, whether that is check, credit card, ACH, or personal credit. If there is any information that's needed regarding status of that transaction. So if you use a credit card or an ACH, I know definitely for credit cards, or if you use a credit card and say you use the wrong credit card and that transaction didn't go through, you would actually see it here under status, and then you have the amount of the payment transaction. If you check on under transaction column, if you selected that transaction number, it will actually give you the details regarding the invoices that were paid for using that were paid at that time using whatever method it was that you used. But it will provide the detail regarding the invoices to support that payment. And the same thing above, you have the IEC test company, and you also have mine. All right, so now we'll go to balance. Now you can use this feature to go in and see if you have any outstanding invoices. This will provide the balance to you. You can also, if there are any outstanding balances, you can use this option to actually pay an invoice. If there's an outstanding balance, there would be a button here that would say pay now. And if you go into pay now, then any of the outstanding invoices would be reflected. You can select the invoices that you want to pay. And at that point, you could actually pay either using a credit card or you could pay with an ACH. And if there's a negative there, that indicates that you may have a personal credit on file, in which case you could give us a call if you have any questions regarding that. All right, payment methods. So we are extremely happy to inform you that the payment methods feature will allow you to go in and put a bank account as an ACH on file. So you can actually use this feature to go in and you would select add bank account. And it will allow you to enter your account number, your routing number, the account holder name, so that would be the name of your company, and you would also select company. Now for our ACHs, we cannot accept bank accounts for individuals. It has to be a company account. Display as will allow you to name this ACH. You can name it whatever you want to name it. And then of course, US and currency, and then you would save this account. And we are extremely happy to inform you at this time that for all of our contractors that actually go in and set up an ACH and use that ACH for your upcoming to pay your tuition for your upcoming enrollments, you will actually receive a $100 gift card. So we're very, very excited about that. We're excited about this feature. If you have to go in, if you enroll in ACH and say you get a new bank account, you can go into this feature and this payment method, and you can actually delete the old ACH, and you can add a new ACH, or if you need to have multiple ACHs in there, if you have 2 or 3 bank accounts that you use, then you can go in and change that and add those multiple ACHs. So we'll go out of this now, and we'll go back over. Thank you. We'll go back over to make a payment. And make a payment is the same feature basically that you saw in balance. It will, if you have an outstanding balance, it will allow you to select the Pay Now button, which you would see, and it will allow you to go in and pay either one invoice or multiple invoices. So, if you find in your organization that that there is somebody in your accounting area or somebody that handles your billing that does not already have access to Flashpoint, that you think may benefit from having this access, please contact us and let us know, and we would be able to set them up to have access to this feature. So thank you very much. So now I'm going to pass this over back over to Julie.
All right, thank you, Celeste.
You're welcome.
All right, so now that we've gone through my transactions, now I'm going to walk you through my company. All right, and with my company, this is a huge area that we're just going to touch on briefly for right now. This is actually going to be the area where you are going to enroll your students. And that's going to be in the student section. So I'm just going to touch on the current employees, students, and the out of work list sections. We're not really going to get in the work reports, the documents, or the contracts. So let's start with current employees. So the current employees is going to show you all of the employees that you have currently listed in your company. It's going to show their name, their contact information, their wage level, if they are an apprentice, mainly their contact type as well. So the contact types that we show, it's going to be the manager administrator, the owner, the education contact, workforce, and if they are an apprentice, that includes Georgia chapter apprentice as well, or if they're an applicant awaiting enrollment. So the first thing when you do log into Flashpoint, we urge you to go in and make sure that all of your employees are listed. Please make sure the contact types are listed correctly as well. So if you see that someone who's listed as the education contact is not listed correctly, and that goes along with the workforce contact, manager, administrator, if those are not labeled correctly, please contact IEC immediately. We want to make sure those who need admin access have it. So if the bookkeeper is not listed correctly, let us know as well. Also, if you see that there is an employee that is no longer in the company, you can let us know that as well, and we will remove them from the company as well. All right, we will not be using the authorization section at this time. All right, so when we get into the student section, right now when you log into Flashpoint, you're going to look at the available courses. You will not see any courses listed right now. So the available courses will appear beginning June 1st for the enrollment period, since that's when it will appear for the Atlanta area. Now, please note that we will have multiple enrollment periods to make sure we take care of our Georgia contractors and our online students as well. So we will make announcements when all of those enrollment periods open, so that we make sure we have multiple available times for all of our students and all of our apprentices. So the unsubmitted registrations, this is where you will see all of the students that you've started the enrollment process on. Maybe you've added them to a list, but you haven't submitted or you haven't paid for those students quite yet. This is where those students will appear. So in this list, it's the same thing as current employees. As soon as you log in, please make sure you see all of your students listed. If you see that you're missing any of your apprentices, or if you're expecting someone to begin the first year apprenticeship for the 21-22 school year and you don't see them, please just shoot me an email with their name. I can look them up to see if they're in our database. And if not, I'll let you know and I can send an email to them with the application so they can fill that out and I can get them added to your company profile. So when you're looking at your student list, you're going to see their name, their year, their apprentice type, their OJT hours, if they're a current apprentice, and if they're a current apprentice, their estimated graduation date. So when you're looking at the year, if they're an apprentice, it's going to have their current year for this school year. If they're a continuing education student, it's going to show 0. So in your student section, it's going to show any employee who's taken a class at IEC. So that's going to include continuing education students as well. So when I told you earlier that in your My Education that you could pull a grade report for your classes, this is where you would do that. So to see your grades and all of your student grades as well, we have the ability to pull all kinds of reports, which is a wonderful feature of Flashpoint. So if you want to see your grade reports, if you want to see your current apprentices' grade reports, all you have to do is click this little box next to the student's name and go up to this little printer icon. And you're able to pull their class schedule, their performance report, which actually shows all of their coursework assignments, all individual grades, their student attendance, their student detailed grade report, which is pretty much their transcript. That's what you would pull to see every class that you have ever taken with IEC. Student grade sheets, which is similar to our performance report, and their total OJT hours. So now you have the ability to pull those reports at any time, and it's up-to-date information. All right, so here again, please just make sure when you're looking at this information that you have all of your students listed. So when you're looking at the year, the continuing education students, those years will be blank. The apprentice will have the current year that they're in right now. If it's an applicant waiting for enrollment, their year is going to show 0. For a student that's in the PEP program, their year will say PEP. And while we're on the PEP program, for this upcoming school year, since PEP is definitely more of a complicated school year, I will still be registering all PEP students. So when you begin the enrollment process, you will be registering all brand new students and all returning students except for PEP students. So you will be registering first year, second year, third year, and fourth year students. You will just not be registering PEP students. And also, any of your returning students do not have to fill out a new application. The only individuals who have to fill out an application are those brand new to the apprenticeship program. All right, so there's just a bit of an overview, and I'm going to show you even more detail when we actually get into the enrollment. But this is going to be the location where you will be enrolling your students. All right, so another great feature of Flashpoint is the enrollments. This page will actually let you see all of your current students and what classes they're enrolled in. So this includes both apprenticeship classes and continuing education classes. So you will see all of your employees that are currently in say they're taking the comprehensive code class, if they're in an online class, Georgia classes, any of those, you'll see every employee, any of the days all located in one place. And then you have, using the printer icon, you could do a default export so that you can keep that on file. And another great feature that those especially are workforce contacts, the out of work list. So if you're looking to hire any of our applicants to the program or any of our apprentices, this is up-to-date information. So as soon as I update it in Flashpoint, you can actually see the up-to-date real-time out of work list. So all you have to do, if you're interested in hiring an apprentice, all you have to do is click on this tab for apprentice, click on the printer icon, current out of work list. It will download an Excel spreadsheet that gives the name, the contact information, and their current year of the apprenticeship program. If you decide you're looking for an applicant, it's the same thing. You click on applicant, the printer icon, current out of work list. That'll give you their name, contact information, and their experience level. And you can do that at any time. All right, so that is my company. And the last section that we're going to talk about is my employment. In my employment, this again is your personal employment. So when you look at employment history, this is going to be your personal employment history. So do not be alarmed if you see that your company is listed multiple times. So anytime you register for an event with IEC, it creates a duplicate record. It does not actually impact your records in any way. It's just how our database system works. And with certifications and hours, that's located in the My Education section. So really, there's nothing new with the information in certifications and hours in this location. All right, so that's really a rundown of all of the different categories of Flashpoint. So now we're going to finish that up and now move into our student enrollment section.
All right, Julie, thank you. All right, so now we're getting ready to get into our new student enrollment process, our new easy and efficient process for enrolling your students. So most of you that are joining us this morning have actually gone through one of our enrollment or registration processes in the past. And so our current student enrollment process goes something like this. If it's a new applicant, a new student, then they apply through our website and submit an application. Then we submit, then our apprenticeship and training area submits a billing authorization to the contractor. The contractor thereby approves or unapproves the billing authorization and submits that back to us. The apprenticeship manager then submits that billing authorization. If it's approved, she submits that to accounting. Accounting invoices the contractor for those new applicants and also for the current apprentices. Those invoices are sent to the contractor for payment. The contractor then remits the payment back to IEC. Now, in the course of this sort of back and forth, this process takes in excess of 2 months. And like I said, if you've been involved in this process before, you understand, like, okay, we send you the billing authorization, you send it back, and then sometimes there's students that you haven't received the billing authorization before, or you may get a student that decides that later on in the process that they want to take classes. Then we have to generate a billing authorization, send that to you, then you send that back to us. And oftentimes in this process, we also have to follow up for billing authorizations that haven't been received. And then once we send out the invoices, we have to follow up regarding payment. So so there's oftentimes a sort of back and forth with that as well. So it's a very tedious and a administratively burdensome process, probably all the way around. So we are so excited for this new enrollment process, because now if you have a new student or a new applicant, that process is the same. They still go to our website, they still apply. But now that you have access to Flashpoint, and now that we're utilizing Flashpoint for this, for the student enrollment, you will actually go in to Flashpoint. You will review your employee list, including the new applicants and your current apprentice. And then you'll go in and basically select a button and enroll them. And once you enroll the student, then you as a contractor can actually continue with the process and pay the tuition at the time of enrollment. So, so we are extremely excited with this new streamlined process where you actually have more control over the process, over your students, over the enrollment. So I would like to now pass it over to Julie, who is going to walk us through that process of how that enrollment happens.
All right, thank you, Celeste.
You're welcome.
All right, let me share my screen here for everyone. Okay. And so I am going to be using a staged version of Flashpoint to show you how this process works. So some of this may look a little different than what you see, and some options may be presented that won't be available for you. So I just want to throw that out there just so you know. All right, so we're back in our My Company student section. So when enrollment begins, you'll now be able to see the available courses. They'll appear just like this. And in this case, since we haven't started enrollment, we still see those unsubmitted registrations. All right, so before really beginning this enrollment process, I'm just going to go over a few reminders again. So make sure before you start the enrollment process that all of your students are listed. That's just make sure your returning students are all there. Make sure if you have any new students, make sure they've all filled out an application. If you see that anyone is missing, please just send me an email. We'll make sure that we get everybody that's supposed to be listed on your company profile. We'll make sure they're all there. Also, only new students need to fill out an application. Returning students, they're already in our database. They don't need to do another application. You will be enrolling both new students and returning students. The only students that I will still be registering are the PEP students. Also, make sure when you start the enrollment process, make sure you know what day the students would like to attend class. So you will see here very shortly, when you enroll a student, it's going to ask you their preferred location and their preferred class day. So make sure you've asked them, or as the contractor, if you know a certain day that you would like for them to attend class, make sure you've already had that conversation, just so it's already discussed and you know what day to sign them up for. And while we're talking about that, seats are on a first come, first served basis. So I highly recommend registering early rather than later, because once those class days are full, then the student will then have to choose their second choice. And we will have a way of, once those classes are no longer available, they will no longer show up for registration on Flashpoint. Also, if there are any special case students. So for example, if someone only needs to take one semester, so say they passed first semester, but they did not pass second semester. In that case, you will not be able to register that student. I will need to do that myself. So any special cases like that, I will take care of. Also, if the student is returning after taking maybe 1 or 2 years off, please email me with the name of that student so that I can make sure the prerequisites for that student are ready so that you can register them as a returning student. Also, if any student does not need a full book package. So for example, if it is a brand new student starting the first year of apprenticeship, and say they already have the 2020 code book tabs and uglies, and they only need the first year kit that IEC provides. If that's the case, then you'll just need to email us, because when you register any student, the full book package is already part of the registration process. So please just email me if there's any case like that as well. And also, I'll still be registering PEP students as well, just as a reminder. That's something that you do not have to do. Also, again, for our Georgia chapter and our online students, we will be having multiple enrollment periods, and we will obviously let all of our contractors know when those periods will open up. And same for Atlanta, we will be having our mid-year enrollment period. So obviously, we will let you know when those enrollment periods are. We will be sending out announcements, and they will also be posted in Flashpoint for you to view as well. All right, so let's get started. I know we have had so much information here. So my recommendation when you first start out is to sort all of your students by year. So that way you just have all of the information, you know who needs to be registered, and so you have your continuing education students kind of sorted out of the rest. So in this case, we have 2 first-year students for the 21-22 school year, and we have 2 second-year students. So I'm going to go ahead and register Simon Gray for the first-year apprenticeship program. So to enroll him, I click on this little box next to Simon, and I'm going to click this box that says Enroll Students. Now, what pops up? Registration, the course. So for Simon, in this case, we're going to choose Atlanta Year 1 full year in person. Now, as soon as we do that, the tuition prices are going to appear. So in Simon's case, we're going to choose the Tuition Atlanta member $900 for the full year. His preferred location, in this case, for him, he is going to choose the IEC Atlanta Training Center. The other options available that we have are the Georgia chapter location. For Georgia chapter, this is going to represent any of our Georgia chapter locations, being North Georgia, Savannah, Columbus. That is what you would choose if you are any of our Georgia chapter locations. For online, the only time the online should be chosen is if the course is an online course. So in this case, we're going to choose IEC Atlanta Training Center. For the preferred class day, we're going to say his choice is Monday. What you're also going to see with any of our year 1 classes, there is a non-refundable registration fee of $75. This is automatically added to any first-year student. And also, for the books, this is automatically added. There is no way to adjust this. So when I was talking about anyone who doesn't need the full book package, you will have to email us, as there is no way to alter this full book package. And also, what I wanted to note when you're looking at the courses, when you are registering someone, when given the options of the courses, the only course that will appear for a student is the courses that they have the prerequisite for. So for example, since Simon is a brand new student, the only courses that will show for him is a year 1 course. So Simon would not be able, we would not see year 1, year 2, year 3, or year 4, because he does not meet the prerequisites for it. He would have to pass year 1, year 2, year 3 to be able to see year 4. So if it's a second year student, he would have had to pass year 1 for you to see year 2. And I'll show you an example of a student like that coming up. So once we have chosen Simon Gray, year 1, preferred location, and the preferred class day, we're going to click Save as Draft. Now we see unsubmitted registrations right here. One great thing, you can also register 2 students at once. So now let's go ahead and register Lamont Davis, who's interested in the online program for first year, and our test applicant for second year. So I can click on both of those boxes, and I'm going to click Enroll Students. Okay, so for Lamont, he said he wanted online. So the course, I'm going to choose online year 1. The member tuition rate online full year, preferred location. In this case, his preferred location is online, and preferred class day, we'll say he's interested in Tuesday. Here again, since it's first year, we're going to see the non-refundable registration fee and the first year book package. Now, if it's a returning student, what's great, it's actually going to tell you the last class day that the student attended, the dates that they attended, and their last location that they attended. So that's also very helpful with your returning students. So in this case, this student already passed first year. So now you actually see Atlanta year 2 full year in person. Because they already passed year 1, year 2 shows up because they met the prerequisite. So we're going to choose Atlanta year 2. And this time, let's choose tuition Georgia members, the 1,205. Preferred location, we'll choose Georgia chapter location. The preferred class day, we'll say this person wants to attend on Wednesday. And here again, with the book package, we cannot alter this. And you see there is no registration fee since this is a second year student. Once we're done with that, we will hit Save as Draft. Now we can see the 3 students that we have just enrolled in the classes. It's still considered unsubmitted registrations since we have not officially paid for and submitted the registrations at this time. And I just want to note here, it also tells you your seats are not reserved until the registration is submitted. So please, here again, do not wait until last minute to register, because here again, if you have a very specific day that you want your students to attend class, say that Mondays by far are the best day. If you wait until last minute, it's very possible that Mondays may already be full by the time that you register. And here again for Atlanta and online, that enrollment period will be June 1st to July 15th. And payment must be received by July 15th. And here again, with the multiple enrollment periods, we will give those deadlines for each enrollment period as well. All right, so now that we have our unsubmitted registrations, to view all of those details and get to that submit page, we're going to click on View Details. All right, and here again, it actually gives you another attention. This registration request has not yet been submitted. Your students will not be placed into classes until this request has been submitted. So at this point, we're going to look down at all of our students that we have listed. Please make sure again that you've checked with the preferred class day, that this is the preferred location that they want, and that all of this information is correct. All of these students listed are contained in the tuition in this total. Once they are listed here, this is all included in this submit and pay now. So for example, if you're getting ready to submit and pay now, and one of the students says, wait, I'm not so sure anymore. Simon Gray now decides he's not sure about continuing. All you have to do is click this button and hit delete. Are you sure you want to delete the selected registrations? You could say, okay. If Simon decides at a later time that he would like to register again, all you'd have to do is go back to students and register the student again at a later time. Now, this has changed. Now you can click submit and pay now to pay for the 2 students you know are ready to go. All right, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to hit submit and pay now to pay for Lamont and the applicant. Submit and pay now. Please ensure this is all correct. And now we're going to hit OK. And if you do need to make any changes, you would just need to contact IEC so we can help you cancel that registration. All right, and Celeste is going to walk you through making a payment.
All right, so thank you, Julie. So as we get ready to go through the payment option, one of the unique things about this new student enrollment process is that if you have your education coordinator, if your education coordinator and the person that does your billing and accounting is different, you can have your education coordinator to actually do the enrollment. And then with your billing or accounting department having access to Flashpoint as well, they can actually go into Flashpoint and continue or complete the enrollment and the payment. So that's a wonderful feature, or your education coordinator can do that process all the way through. But you do have the option of doing the enrollment and then having your billing accounting folks come in and continue the payment option, the payment portion of this. So just a few things. We're going to start checks, ACH, and credit cards. ACH and credit cards. That is the preferred payment options. That is our preferred payment choices. We would prefer that we would prefer you to use ACH or credit card because it's all automated and it all happens right here in Flashpoint. So to start, let's look at, we're going to go to the payment method. So once you get to this page, pay and submit, you can select your payment method. So we're going to select ACH. So with the ACH option, we have some of our contractors that actually already have ACHs on file and are also already utilizing ACH. If you are, then that option will come up and you can utilize that ACH that you already have on file. If not, and you want to enroll a new ACH, you would go to bank account and configure. And from this page, you would go to add a bank account. All right, and this will allow you, this will take you back to your payment method from the My Transaction, and it will allow you to put in your account number, your routing number, the company name on the account, select company, and save. So you will be able to save that ACH for utilization for paying that invoice. So let's go cancel. All right, so now we're going back to the pay now. And so let's just select the ACH again. So if you have an ACH already on file, that information will come up here when you select the method, and then you would submit and pay. All right, great. So let's go back and show you credit card. So the credit card option here is the similar to every other credit card feature that you use when you're making any other purchases. It will have your payment amount. You will enter your credit card information, the name, the credit card number, expiration. You would also the billing address and billing information. And you can either use this credit card as a one-time only transaction in which case after you enter your billing information, you will go down and submit payment, or you can save this credit card for future use. And submit. Now, with the credit card, there is a 4% pass-through fee. It's a merchant processing fee that is charged to us. That's just a pass-through fee. So that is defined as a handling fee whenever you're using a credit card to process a payment. And so from here, you would submit your payment. Your next payment option is personal credit. Now, if you have a partial, if you say that you have your subtotal, and if you say, oh man, I have a personal credit I'd like to apply, but I don't have enough. I only have like $200, but I want to apply it to this payment. Then contact the accounting department before you make the payment. We will apply that partial personal credit to your invoice. And then you can go in after that and complete the payment with the adjustment made to your total based on your personal credit. If in fact you have a personal credit that meets or exceeds the total amount of your invoice, that full amount of that personal credit will be applied at this point to your invoice. You would submit the payment, and that personal credit, that full amount of that personal credit will be applied to the full amount of your total, thereby paying that invoice or paying for the registrations. So we are, in fact, so now we'll talk about this checks and electronic funds transfer. As I mentioned, our preferred payment choices are the ACH credit cards. However, if you are paying by check, please notify accounting, notify us that you are going to be submitting a check, and we will note your account. Once that check is received, we will apply that check to your unsubmitted registration. Also, and this is the same, we have some companies that are set up with electronic funds transfers. If you have that process is the same as checks. Notify us if there's an electronic funds transfer coming in. We will apply that. Once received, we will apply that payment to your unsubmitted registrations, and thereby paying off your balances there. Please note that your registration, your class dates, your seats are not confirmed until full payment has been received and applied to your account. Additionally, we recommend that you start the registration, the enrollment period for your students early, that you submit and pay early, that all of that is taken care of early before the end of the enrollment period, so that if there's any challenges, if there's any glitches, that we can get all of that taken care of prior to the enrollment period. So we don't want to wait until the last minute, so that we have time to take care of any issues or that may arise. Also, just regarding our billing policies, your quarterly dues must be paid current in order to complete your student enrollment. So since you have access to Flashpoint, you can actually go in to either your orders, or you can go into your payments, and you can confirm whether or not the quarterly dues are paid current. Also, the contractors are responsible for the payment of tuition, the registration, which is non-refundable, and book fees for apprentices in your employ. So an individual student or apprentice cannot pay for their tuition. If that apprentice is employed by you as a contractor, then you are responsible for the payment of the tuition, the registration, the book fees. Also, this is also the apprenticeship registration and full annual tuition and fees are due prior to an apprentice beginning classes. This is different for our Atlanta folks. We have been on a different billing system, but now since we've gone to this new easy enrollment process and automated system, all tuition is now annual tuition. Our cancellation and refund policies, our Georgia and online cancellation and refund policies are unchanged. They are the same that they have been previously. For everybody, you can find our cancellation refund policies, our billing policies, all of that is available in our annual directory that goes out to all of our members. And if you need a copy of that, please let us know. And also for Atlanta, the cancellation, and this is for both Atlanta and Georgia, cancellation policies for the apprenticeship program is that we would like to get or request a written cancellation at least 1 week prior to the first night of class. Also, we do accept substitutions for the classes, and fee refunds may be requested for students that do not attend classes. So if a student does not attend the class, or if there's a cancellation, a refund can be requested. Additionally, for Atlanta, if your first year students do not pass the math exam, then you can request a refund. Additionally, and this is during this transition period, since this is a transition, especially for Atlanta program, during this transition period, if you have a first semester drop, notify us. Please get in contact us regarding a refund for the second semester. Refunds may, as I move on, refunds may include your tuition and books if the books are returned in new condition, or if the books have never been picked up, or if they're returned in new condition, then a book refund will be granted as well. That refund will include tuition, books, if applicable, less the non-refundable registration fee. The refunds are issued via personal credit. So as we're closing out with our new easy and efficient new student enrollment process, we'd like to share a few tips with you. Just for timing, July and August is when we're going to, in July is when we're going to be starting our first year in-person and online classes. August, we'll be starting our 2nd through 4th year classes. There will be some other classes starting in the fall, and we will have open enrollment at that time for those other classes, and you will receive notifications. You will receive information regarding those other enrollments. There will also be enrollment, as Julie had mentioned, for mid-year in the beginning of next year. So just keep an eye out for that, because we will be sending out information. Just as a reminder, all dues must be paid current in order to complete your enrollment. Data that you should have when you're starting your enrollment process. Make sure that you have your preferred day. Make sure you know whether that, if it's an Atlanta student, whether they're interested in person or online, or if it's a Georgia chapter. Also, if you're doing an ACH, or if you're setting up ACH or credit card for the first time, make sure that you have that number and that information available. Ensure that you have your Flashpoint user login credentials. And once you have those credentials, make sure that you can actually access Flashpoint. So go in there and make sure that you can log in. If you have any problems logging in, username, login, or anything, please contact us and we'll assist you with logging in. Also, review your employee and your employee list, i.e. your student list. And if there's any changes or updates that are needed, please contact Julie.